Hello guys, welcome to this is possibly the last video I'm going to do in actual preparation for my Shehane loaded rounds. The next video will be me actually putting everything together, starting with prime and moving on through to powder weighing and then finally bullet seat and then moving on to load development and running in the barrel and that. But until I get my gun, I'm sort of just treading water at the moment. Hopefully you've enjoyed the 5 videos I've done so far. A lot of them have gone into sort of bench rest quality standards. A lot of it is not necessary, as we all know, for your type of shooting, whether it be hunting or basic target shooting. But I'm just trying to do an advanced series of videos to get as much accuracy or as much consistency out of my rifle when I start to shoot F-class next year. Presently, my action for my rifle, I've ordered the bat action, is sitting in UK Customs. It's been there about 3 weeks. I've got the stock. I've got a Robertson's GBF class stock. The barrel will end up being a Bartlin 1 8 3/4 to 1 9 1/4 30-inch twist cane barrel, which will hopefully have dual trigger. And I should be putting a big PM2 on top, but as I say, once I get everything in that line, that will come along in the series. But at the moment, where we've got to is I'm not going to go through the other 5 videos because that just gets boring. This is the last process of what I think I need to do for my cases. A lot of people say it's unnecessary, but I'm going to do it for the sake of doing it, just for the video, and then I can say it's done. What I've got here is referring back to, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd video where we actually weight sorted the load of the burgers. I've now got about 300 here, maybe 400, of the 180 to 180.1 grain bullets tips. What I'm going to do is, I'll take some close-ups in a minute, is I'm now going to further sort these into bearing length surface, or bearing surface length. That is the bit between the if you can imagine, I'll show you, but it's the bit between the top of the boot tail to just before the O-drive. The principle is, if they're all different lengths, you will get slightly different pressures when you fire your round. More pressure gives you more elevation, more deviation in your shot-to-shot placement. So what I'm going to try and do, this is just purely as an experiment, but I'm doing it on camera so we can see the results. Once I've done it, we'll see if that was necessary or not. Until I've done it, I don't know. A very good friend of mine called Dave Bromwick from the UK, or Ovenpar as he's known on the forums, has made me a bearing surface comparator. It consists of, we've set it on a bit of granite. I'll do a feature on this on its own right, but this is just to show you what I'm using if people ask me. And what he's done is put a standing still mast on the back. We've got a digital DTI as a digital indicator. I don't know what the T-bit stands for. DTI. Anyway, I'll take some close-ups. Well, we've got if I take a bullet, lift this up. That's you can see the O-drive bit there. The boot tail sits in there, and that's designed so it measures from the top of the boot tail, or just what the bearing surface is the actual bit that rides the rifling. It's the bit that's got in contact with the rifling and the lands and the grooves. Okay, so that's what creates a seal in the barrel. So keep your pressure behind the bullet, creating, it gives it the oomph. And then on the top, we've converted, he's milled or machined another measuring point, so it comes to the between the O-drive and the bearing surface, so it's just sitting on the end of the bearing surface. Well, what I'm going to be measuring for is differences in length of bearing surface, alright? Not the actual length of the bearing surface, but in difference in lengths, if that makes sense. So I'm not looking for a specific length bearing surface, I'm just trying to segregate the variances between bearing surface to bearing surface, tip to tip. It's a bit complicated, and it's a lot easier once we get going. Once I've taken some different angles with the camera, it'll be a lot easier to follow. But that's what we're planning on doing. So you can, I'll turn it, if you can see, I'll turn it on. 0. It's in inches. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but I'll take them. I'll get the camera and replace them. Put the top in first. Alright, you get a measurement there, and then what I'll do is I'll put another tip in, and that'll be a compare that against that one, and I'll probably put them in groups of 2 thou difference. I'd expect about 5 thou difference between the highest and the lowest. If there's any more than that, I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see once I've done it. Okay, right, I'll remove the cameras, then we'll do some. Okay. Just show you the equipment I'm going to be using for this. I've got my 2 boxes of weight sorted Berger 187mm bullets. I've got some spare boxes which these come in, so once they've been sorted I'll use these for like containers to put them in. I will label everything so I know what I'm doing, otherwise it's going to get so confusing. Got an Allen key just in case I need to roll at the height of this as I go along. Shouldn't do, because once that's 0 I shall work off the same 0. That's about it really, and my DTI, which I'll show you a bit closer and a bit more in depth when I've done this bit of filming. Okay guys, I'll crack on. It's going to take a little while. I'll start doing the first 20 or so on video, and then as per usual I'll come back to near the end and then turn the video back on. Okay? Okay guys, you can see I've got lot number 22423, that's the lot number of the bullets, the weight, and the make of the bullet and what weight it is. Okay, the quantity of bullets I've got here will end up my match competition bullets. The when I weight sorted the other ones, the odds and ends at the either end of the scale will be for my fouling rounds, and also when I start to break the barrel in. But right. You can see I've got the 4 containers. I'm going to measure the first one. I don't know what they'll measure, and then I've got a piece of paper under each, so I can just keep an idea of which weight is going in, or which length is going in which. Okay guys, we're going to now do the first one. I've got some paper here, so I can just write on each piece, so I know the length going into that pot. And one critical thing you have got to watch is this, when it comes down, it's got to be dead in line. I have been just messing about with it a bit, and if you find that the bullet is canted slightly, even just a minuscule bit, you'll get a false reading, because that'll read off the high bit. That won't. So it's like, it's got to be concentric. It's like a bullet going through your chamber. No, they've got to go through concentric to the bore, and these have got to be the same. Right, so first one. You only place the DTI on the bullet. You're not trying to jam it in, because you're going to get a false reading. So we've got one reading of 149, or 0.149. So I'll write that there. And that one can go in there. Now what we're going to do is see how the other ones compare against that. Right, 140, 0.140, I'll stick that in there until we get a bit of a pattern. $149. Bit fiddly, but as I say, we'll see what difference that makes. 145, 0.145, 145,000 from 0, which is not, there's 0 is just the 0 from the drop of the DTI. Right, so we'll just put these in a bit of an order. So at the moment we've got an extreme spread of about 9,000, which is quite surprising. what I am doing, as you can see, is lowering it down and then just lifting it up and spinning the actual bullet through 180 so you get a proper seating. You know, like when you seat a bullet, if you to get it to half the run out, if you seat your bullet, drop the ram, seat it, and then pull the ram back up, twist your case or in the shell holder through 180, then reseat the bullet. That should even out any concentric issues if you've got any. So that's 140. .45. Whoops, I'll just double check that. Right. If nothing else changes, I just open that camera slightly to see what's going on. I've got 149, 145, 140. I'm going to go 140 to 0.143. 0.144 to 0.147, and then 0.147 to 0.150. Okay, that'll be my. So they'll be in 3 thou increments. If I get any oddballs either side, we'll reevaluate as we go along. Another way you could have segregated these bullets is from, just for argument's sake, from the base. Let me just get a pointy thing. Another way you could have separated these bullets is from the base to the ogive, which is there somewhere. But I'm doing from hair to hair, which is the actual bearing surface, and you'll find if you put a set of calipers on there, that will be actual caliber size. So that in this case that'll be 0.284 or 7mm. Whereas the why I haven't gone from the bottom, the base to the ogive, is I can do that when I start seating my bullets. Okay, in the cases, I just wanted to get the bearing surface all the same, because I think that'll help get my extreme spread of velocity down, and the deviations from shot to shot in the feet per second given, because I was, you know, it's all about scraping every little bit, as we know. I'll just recheck that because I forgot what that was. So you can see there's a little bit of spring tension in there, a bit of gravity as well as acting on. If you drop it too hard, it will force down the bullet a little bit. So you've just got to be so gentle. Right, I'll just reposition the camera and then take some close-ups of what I'm actually doing downstairs. And just spin it. It's not easy because I keep getting my hand in the way. So you can see the bullet go in. And it just rests. That's a better one. It's a bit awkward because of my fat hands. Okay. I'll just give you a quick heads up of what Dave has done for me. The normal DTI has a plunger here. All Dave has made is a collar that goes on it. So the inside of the collar, I'm not going to roll or anything now because all my measurements won't be out, is the two Allen keys just hold it onto the shaft, and inside it is designed to be 0.284, I think it is. So it catches that bit there, okay? So it catches that bit there. You can just see it where the shadow changes. And the bottom is angled so it rides up the boot tail. So it rides up the boot tail here, and it measures from where that shoulder there. Okay? Right, I'll turn the video off now and crack on, because this will take me quite a while. It's like watching paint dry at the best times. Okay guys, you join me back now. I've finished comparing the bearing surfaces in this weight being 180.1 grains. You can see how they worked out. This is 100 and there's about 650 bullets here. There's roughly about 120 between 0.14 and 1.3, about the same of 1.44 and 1.47, and you can see it's about 315 between 0.17 and 0.150. 0.150. So you can see that these are all, you know, usually I would have shot them all as 180.1. I wanted to try it, see where they come out. And you can see there's a bit of difference between, and when we actually start doing our loo development, I'll see if there's any difference in how they shoot at range. A lot of my loo development I'm going to try and do at 300 yards. 100 yards is okay, but 300 yards is when the groups open up and then you start to see if you have got problems. So that's that little bit. I'm going to press on now, which I wouldn't do for the camera. I've got the other 1700 or 1500 to do in the other different weights. And what I've done, as you can see on here, just make sure you can see it, but 180.1 grains, 0. And these measurements don't mean nothing, but that'll just show that this is the third lot in, like, 1, 2, third lot in that range of the bearing surface compared to the other ones. I'm not, you know, everything is labelled up, all the same. So I would be confident in picking out any one of them bullets, measuring two together, and they'll be within 3 thou of each other on the bearing surface, and they will be in the range of 180 to 180.1 grains. No, sorry, 180 what? 180.1 to 180.2. Okay. So that's about it really. The next job now is, at last, priming. We'll prime some brass. Okay guys, cheers.